Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Engine compartment. We're going to start with this is a gear driven power steering pump. It should be secure, should not be leaking. This has no belt. We will go further on this when we are on the other side. Top and bottom main radiator hose and all the hoses from the coolant reservoir and the heater hoses should be secure on both ends, top and bottom. The hoses to the water, to the radiator. The coolant hose. The coolant reservoir should not be damaged or leaking. If it has a slight window, I will check my coolant level there. If not, I will check it through the top cap if necessary. I would add coolant. The cap should not leak. Alternator. Your alternator should be secure. The wires should be secure and not have any loose, broken, or bare wires. Wires right here.
These are little inches.
The belt to the water pump and alternator. This is the belt to the water pump and alternator.
Air, but this is, yeah, you
Should not be cut, cracked, or fried. Have no more than 3/4 inch play at the center between the pulley. This is a 3/4 inch play when you press on it. Okay. The exhaust system from the manifold. This is your manifold. Exhaust system, your manifold should be secure, have no tears, holes, or black soot marks that could indicate a leak, and should not have excessive noise when running. Front suspension and frame. This is your frame. Okay. This is your shock absorbers should be from top to bottom, from your top to the bottom. Should not be damaged or leaking grease or oil. The grease or oil will leak from here. Okay? It shouldn't be leaking. The frame. This is your frame. Should not be bent or cracked. Should have no illegal valves or holes other than those from the factory. No holes on any other cross members. These are the holes from the factory, so they shouldn't have any other ones than those. The spring mounts at both ends should be the spring mount. This is your spring mount. This is your spring mount. Secure, no loose, missing, or corroded nuts or bolts. There's your corroded, there's no corroded your bolts. Have no cracks or illegal valves and should be well greased at the pivot points. The pivot points should be well greased. Okay. The leaf spring should be, this is your leaf spring, should be secured by U-bolts and clamps. These are your U-bolts right here. These are shaped as a U. Your U-bolts, and these are your clamps. These are your clamps. They should not have no shiny spots or any indication of looseness. The leaf spring should be aligned with each other and have no more than 25% damage, or it will be taken out of service. These springs should be aligned with each other. So these are aligned with each other. Okay? Brake chamber, slack adjuster, and axle. Okay. The axle. This is your axle. Okay. All this is your axle. All all the way over here to right here. So your axle should not be bent, cracked, or have any illegal welds. The inside and outside axle seal should be secure, should not be cracked or leak any grease or oil, and see that the oil level is adequate. Okay. Oil level is adequate. Okay. Air line from brake chamber to frame. This is your air line. From the brake chamber, this is your brake chamber, and this is your frame. So it's connected to the frame. Should be secure on both ends with fasteners. They're your fasteners, and they're secure. The hose should not be swollen, cut, or leaking. The hose is not cut, it's not leaking. Okay. The brake chamber should be secure. This is your brake chamber. The clamp should not be loosened or missing. This is your clamp. It should not have dents, cracks, or should not be leaking. This is your slack adjuster. You got that?
Yes.
This is your slack adjuster. Should be secure, no broken or missing parts. This is your pushing rod. The push rod should move no more than 1 inch when applied and should set at 90 degrees when it is applied. It should have its cutter pins and be well greased at the pivot points. Okay. Front wheel. Brake shoes and drums are inside here. Brake shoes and drums. Brake shoes and drums. Okay. The brake shoes and drums have dust covers. So dust covers. Right? All right here. Okay. If I see them, I would make sure that the brake shoes have no missing rivets or any grease or oil on the shoes or drums. If you could see it, but you can't see it because it's all clamped in. I would make sure that the lining have no damage and no less than 1/4 inch thickness at the lowest point. Brake shoes should fit well in the brake drum. The brake shoe fits well in the brake drum. The brake drum should not be bent, cracked, or have any illegal welds or have any bluing that could indicate overheating. If you see bluing around the brake shoe, then you stop because you could start fire. Rims and tires. These are your rims. These are your tires. Okay. The lip of the rim on both sides should not be bent or cracked. The lip. This is the lip.
Okay.
Should not be bent or cracked. This is your inside lip. The tires should sit well on both sides of the rim. They sit well on both sides of the rim. The sidewall, which is this is the sidewall. On both sides of the tires should have no blisters, cuts larger than 1 inch, and no material or wires showing. Blisters are, like if you have a little ball sticking out, that's right. A blister. Okay. A wire is when your tires are already wearing out, you got the little wires and strings sticking out.
Right.
Okay. You can't have that showing. So I will check the sidewall for manufacturer recommended inflation and make sure the tires are in that range by using a tire grudge. The rest of the tires should be evenly, no grudges, nails, materials, wires, or metal showing, which is the tire got to be all evenly, no nails sticking out, no nothing, everything got to be smooth. Okay? The thread depth should be no less than 4 32nd inch deep, which is your tire thread. Right? Okay? The front tires need to be original thread. No recaps are allowed. No used tires when they say recaps. Okay? The rest of the rim should not be bent, cracked, or have any welds. It should have no loose, missing, or corroded lug nuts.